guys, so now we're going to talk about lesson 4, which is estimation with percents, and we need to think about certain words that are important now for us, which are taxes and tips. Taxes as payments to the government, as the IVA here in Colombia when you buy something and you gotta pay the IVA, right? Or tips when you go to the restaurant and your dad or your mom leaves a tip to the waiter, right? So every one of them are usually added to a bill that we have to pay. They're usually never included, but they're just added at the end, okay? My way to do it is actually to divide in 2 parts the exercise. The first one is to get what the 100% is. Of course, that would be equal to 400, right? And then the 10%, which is of course equal to 40%. How do I know it's 40%? It's 40? Well, because it's just a matter of dividing 400 into 10. So I get 40, right? And then I need 120%. So I need 410 and I need another 10. So that is another 40. And that gets me 480. That is actually my way to estimate, right? To actually do the mental math. And I need to do it exactly. How would I work it out exactly? Well, I would do a proportion. 120 out of 100, which is the total. Remember, percents total is always 100. And then we know that the 120% corresponds to 480. So we actually need to find, sorry. My bad. We have the total as 400 and we actually need to find what is the 120%, right? Again, as before, we multiply, we do the cross product, and that of course would get me into, I can cancel these zeros here. And so of course 12 times 4, it's gonna be 48 and 1 0. So I get the same thing. So in this case, I would say my estimation is the same as the actual percent. Now I chose also number 4. Number 4 is 33% of 91. In my case, what I did is that I actually rounded 91 into 90. Okay? And then what I did after that is that I got 10% of 90, which is 9, of course. And then 1% of 90, I know it should actually be 0.9. How do I know that? Well, if I get 90 divided in 100 to get 1%, then I would get 0.9. But I actually need 3 of this. So what I need to do is that I need to get 10% times 3 to get 30%, right? That actually goes to 9 times 3, which is 27. And then I will work with the 1. I need 1% times 3, which is 3, and that would get me 0.9 times 3, which gets me into 2.7, right? Now if I take the 27 plus the 2.7, that is actually 29.7. So I can just say that's 30, right? Now I'm showing you what is happening in my mind. But of course, if I don't have to write it down, it's gonna take me like 10 seconds to do it, right? Now this is the actual, the estimation. And then I'm gonna work with the actual percentage, which again has to be 33 out of 100. It's what of 91. I mean, I have to find that, right? You know what? I'm going to erase over here because it's probably too small on that side. So I'm just gonna do it here on the side. So 33 over 100 is, out of 91, what? So I'm gonna have 33 times 91 over 100 is X. I'm actually skipping a lot of steps because I'm pretty sure you guys already know very well how to do the cross product. So that's why I'm just skipping steps. And you're actually able to do that too. And then this multiplication is gonna be 3003. And that over 100 is just a matter of moving the point. Remember that decimal point is right here. So I gotta move it once and twice. So it's gonna be 30.3 equals X. So see, almost the same as well, right? Almost the same as well. Okay, now let's do number 6, which is exercise where 54% of 78 must be gotten, okay? What I would do is to round 78 to 80, and then I would know 10% actually corresponds to 8, and 1% actually corresponds to 0.8, right? And since I need 50%, I know that corresponds to 8 times 5. That is 40. And then I need 4%, which that would be 0.8 times 4, which would be 3.2, and that makes it 43.2. Now, if I check on the actual value, then I'm gonna get the proportion done, right? So I know 54 out of 100 is equivalent to, we don't know what, of 78. So we know that would be 54 times 78 divided into 100 equals X, which in my count, that is 4212. Okay, 4212. Now, if you think about it, it actually is pretty close, right? But this is a little bit greater. So I would say it's greater. Okay, the estimation for sure. Now let's go to number 12, where we are going to use the concept of tip. Remember, tip is pretty much that amount of money you want to give to someone after you have received any kind of service. A lot of times we do it for restaurants, but actually in many countries you give tips for pretty much anything people do for you. Okay? So number 12 tells you to please get the tip, a 15% tip, okay, and the amount of money is $16.40. So that's what we're gonna work with, okay? In my case, I would actually round it to $16. And then with that amount of money, I'm just going to try to get the tip that I'm looking for. Of course, I want to think about the tip as a ratio. Why? Because it's actually a little bit easier for me, because I can think of 15 out of 10 of 16. Remember marbles activity? There you go. Back again to it. Sure. And then remember, we have to multiply this 2 and divide it into this one, right? But I can definitely simplify this fraction, which actually is going to be 3/20 times 16. And then I can simplify this as 2 times 8 and 2 times, actually 2 times, you know what, I can do 4 times 5 here, and I can do 4 times 4 here. That's gonna make it easier for us. So we know we have 3 times 4 over 5, which is 12 fifths. And then that's the amount of money I would have to give. But then I'm gonna get this into a decimal. This as a decimal is gonna be 2 divided into 5, which is of course 2, that's 10. And so decimal point, that is 2.4. So what I can say is that I can actually get a $2.40 tip. Okay? And so that would be my answer. That's how you work it out. Now every time you got the percent as a ratio, and then you just work with Marvel's activity. That's it. And the last problem I want to talk about with you guys, it's problem or exercise 16, which is part of the series of problems based on that bell right there on the textbook. And this one says that to the nearest whole percent, what is the tax rate applied to the bill? To do that is pretty simple, because you have to remember that subtotal in the bill was actually $25.95. That was the subtotal, all right? Then the tax, if I'm not wrong, it was $1.3. And so we need to figure that out. I mean, how can we figure what is the percentage corresponding to this tax just by estimating, not doing really a whole lot of processes? How about this? We know 10% of 25.95 is actually 2.595, which actually makes it 2.6, right? We can round it to 2.6 pretty easy dollars. Now that is 10%. If I divide this in two, I'm gonna get $1.3, which makes it for 10% to be divided into two. So that is 5%. So what we can tell everybody is that this is actually about 5%. How can I say it is about? Because remember, we rounded here. So it's not exactly 5% because we rounded over here, but since it has to be to the nearest whole percent, it should be 5%. Okay? That's pretty much